All right, guys, how are y'all doing today? If you've never been on this channel before, I go to Cedar Point. That's basically what it is. I go to Cedar Point and I answer the questions that you have about Cedar Point and other area theme parks. I've been going to Cedar Point now for like 20 years, although there was a brief hiatus while I lived in South Dakota. And then over the last 7 years, I go to Cedar Point just constantly, especially in the summers. Love to answer questions for you guys, and that's really the fun of it for me. It is that I absolutely love Cedar Point, but part of the fun is that I can answer questions that you guys may have about the theme parks and give you really good details so you know what to expect out of your Cedar Point vacation when you get there. And I'll be making tons of more videos this year about Cedar Point. So if you haven't yet, please press that subscribe button, please press that like button, and please give me some comments down below of questions or things that you may want to know about Cedar Point. I'd love to hear from you guys, and that's what this channel is for, like I already said. So if you're new around here, welcome. I hope that you enjoy this channel. But also over the last year, we've had like 1,000 people join this channel, and even more who just casually watch this channel. So I know that there are people out there who have questions and haven't seen any videos of me answering those questions. So recently I've gotten a lot of people down in the comments who have been asking those questions, and that is completely fine. I want you to ask as many questions as you possibly can muster up, because every single time that you ask a question, no matter what, it boost the algorithm. So more people see this channel and they're able to find out more about Cedar Point. I love that, and we build our community more based on that. So that's awesome. So because I know that for every question that's asked, there are another 25 people who are asking the same question, I want to address where you can find some answers if you need to in helpful videos before Cedar Point opens. Cedar Point is opening in like a week and a half. I can't wait, and I know you guys are excited also, and I know many of you are planning your trips. I've even heard from people in Europe planning trips to come to Cedar Point. Love that. Love hearing from people all over about their trips to the Great Lakes area here in the States. So I want to help you guys as much as I possibly can. So this video is kind of going to be a video that can direct you to where you can get the answers that you need if you don't want to ask a question down below. Like I said, please ask questions. I am never offended by you asking a question, and if you have even seen it asked 10 times before, I don't care if you ask it again, and I will answer it for you, because that's fine. We all have questions that we need answers to. So no judgment here, absolutely, if you ever need to ask a question. But before Cedar Point opens up this next year, I thought that I would make a numbered list to help you out with the best videos of mine that may help you plan your Cedar Point trip. I'm going to start the video with the most niche topics and then move my way down to the most broad topics that can help you out here at Cedar Point. So if you are just part of the largest group of people that want to come to Cedar Point, stick around to the end. You'll get the best questions there at the end. So this should be a pretty quick video. I hope it is. I hope you're excited also, and let's go. Number one on this list is actually a Kings Island video from this last year, because Cedar Point's operations have changed. And it's something that I think everyone needs to know, and that's why I'm putting it at number one on this list, or at least the first one that you're going to hear on this list, because Cedar Point is going cashless this year. I think that's something a lot of people are going to miss, and they're going to get there on the first day with cash and not know what to do with it. If you check out this video is actually called Kings Island Bar Crawl and Single Rider Lines. It has very little to do with the cashless system and how to convert your cash into a card, but that is on this video. You can check out which part of the video you want to go to and go straight to it, and I think it just says cashless system. So go check that out. That will give you the best ability to understand what the cashless system is for Cedar Point. But another thing that I did not know at that time, and that I want to address very quickly, is that the cashless system does come with a minor catch, and it is that after you put your money on the card, if you are not using the card within, I think, 6 months, like $350 will come off that card per month until that card is empty of all cash. I have lost some money this year for that. So I think that's something that is good to be aware of. Now, once the money is on the card, you can use the card at gas stations. You can use the card at grocery stores. You can use it pretty much any place. And I actually found it was better than one of the debit cards I had. I had a temporary debit card. But it is something to be aware of, that you could lose some money in the deal if you put more than you're going to use at Kings Island on the card. And we'll have more videos outlining that and how to use it and all that kind of stuff this next year. But for now, that's a good way for you to just kind of get a little introductory course into it. The next video is every single Cedar Point ride and how long you should wait for them. This is one of the newest videos on my channel. It is really just me, again, sitting on the couch and talking to you guys. But I do think that it's a good video for you to check out for the idea of how long you need to wait, especially if you've never been to Cedar Point before. What kinds of waits are acceptable and what kind of waits are just waiting too long for certain rides. It's a good, quick reference kind of a video, and hopefully it can help you while you are in the park. I am planning on doing an experiment where I take those ride lengths and I specifically only wait for that ride length for the rides at Cedar Point. See how far it gets me. So that'll be an interesting video to see how well I actually did with it. But definitely, I think it's worth checking out real fast if you are planning on certain rides and you really want to hit specific rides. Again, timestamps all below. Definitely go check out the ones that you are most interested in. Number 3 is you're late, now what? So, I mean, most people get to Cedar Point and they do not get there for time opening, which I recommend. You need to get there for whatever your earliest possibility is. So if you have a pass, you generally can get there an hour early. If you do not have a pass, you need to get there at the time that is stated on the website that they open. I mean, everyone has a moment when they get in late, right? So check out this video for what you should do to get the most bang out of your day if you arrive late to Cedar Point, either at the beginning of your vacation or just on a day when you randomly decide to go. Number 4 is loosely related to Cedar Point, and actually I'm kind of lumping all the islands in more to Cedar Point for this year, and that is Put-in-Bay. I don't know if you know this, but the Cedar Point area, really just northern Ohio and Lake Erie, have a lot of islands all around in it. So you don't just have the peninsula / island of Cedar Point, you also have a lot of other islands all around. One of them is Put-in-Bay, and that is where my brother and a couple of friends of ours went and just hung out. It's a great excursion for if you have a week around Cedar Point. You may want to go check it out, and I think it's definitely a video that's worthwhile to check out so that you can see if maybe that's a place that would appeal to you also. Number 5, my daughter decides my day at Cedar Point. I love going to Cedar Point with my child. So I have a little girl. She is the sweetest thing ever, if I do say so myself. And she likes to ride some rides with me, but mostly she likes to kind of relax and go see the Old West area of Cedar Point, which is called Forbidden Frontier. If you are someone who has kids and you kind of want to check out maybe what they might like to do while they're at Cedar Point, this is a good video, especially if you have someone in your family who's a little bit younger and a little bit more sedate on their roller coaster riding. So go check that video out. It may be a little bit enlightening, especially if you have kids around that age. Number 6. Where do I put my bags at Cedar Point? I went into the park with bags and documented where I was able to put bags and where I was not able to put bags at each ride, at least each major ride at Cedar Point. So we did hit a couple of flat rides, and we hit all of the roller coasters, I believe, on that day. So this video can be really helpful if you have a lot of stuff that you're carting around with you, and you need to figure out which rides you can put things down on and which rides you cannot. So go check that out if you want to know what to do with your baggage while you are at Cedar Point, riding those rides and getting in those thrills. Number 7, this gets into kind of a little bit of a mini series that I did last year that's going to involve 3 different videos. The first one is how I rode every coaster at Cedar Point. In one day, on a pretty busy day with some pretty massive lines, I was able to ride every single ride at Cedar Point. And I was able to actually do it. I'm a little bit surprised still at this point. Watching this video may give you a bit of an idea of what you need to do to get the most out of your day, ride as many rides as possible, especially if you are a thrill seeker. Now, speaking of riding every ride, Cedar Point does have a fast lane system, and that's where this next video comes in. Is Fast Lane Plus worth it at Cedar Point? So my very first control video was how I rode every coaster at Cedar Point. The video that was the follow-up to that was, is Fast Lane worth it at Cedar Point? So we were able to see how many rides I was able to ride on that day using Fast Lane. I also was able to get in a little bit of relaxation and some other experiences like shows. So it'll give you kind of an idea of how fast I was able to get through all the rides at Cedar Point and how much time I was able to devote to doing other things rather than riding the rides. And the follow-up to is Fast Lane worth it at Cedar Point was, is Fast Lane Plus worth it? Let's talk numbers. So toward the end of the year, I went onto every single ride, and while we were going around, we did the math. If you got Fast Lane, how many rides can you ride during that day? If you got a regular pass, and how many rides can you ride with a regular pass versus Fast Lane? So we discussed a couple of different options on how many rides you could possibly hit. Did some supposing, I guess, and go check that out if you want to get an idea of how much value you can squeeze out of the Fast Lane Plus system and what it may be worthwhile to you or not worthwhile to you. So go check that one out. The last video we all have dealt with, this is number 10, and it is what to do when it rains at Cedar Point. The Midwest, if I've said it before, I'm sure I will say it again 1,000 times, is very renowned for having weird weather. Just because the weatherman says it's going to be 80 degrees does not mean it's going to be 80. It might be 55 and constant rain. But if it does rain, you also can make the best out of it. And that's what happened this day. I made the best out of it. And actually at the end of the day, I was able to kind of have a bonus being able to do quite a few rides at the very end of the day. So I think that may be worthwhile for you to check out and also to see what the benefits of a rainy day may bring with you, especially when it comes to the end of the day. So you can always have fun at Cedar Point, and I hope that these 10 videos are very helpful to you guys as you plan your Cedar Point trips. Are there other videos that you find to be particularly helpful? Please leave those down in the comments. Just find the title and put it down below, or say the one where you talked about this. Go all friends titles with it. That's fine. We'll talk about that down below, and just let me know down below if there's anything else that you want to hear about Cedar Point this coming year. Videos, challenges, just Instagram content, something short and fast that you can check out. Also, do follow me on Instagram in particular. You also can on Twitter if you want to see my spicy hot takes. But it's at Not Your Normal G1. Definitely go check those out. And thank you guys for watching today. You have a great day. Let's go!